Hi, everybody. It's Deborah Carter from New Tech Kids. I'm here with another Preparation Tech interview. Preparation Tech is an interview series with technologists and people who work with technology who are all inspiring and doing interesting things around technology. Preparation Tech is really oriented towards parents, teachers, and school guidance counselors to give them a sense of the paths, the study paths, as well as the careers that are really possible when you combine technology with all kinds of other fields. Today, I'm super excited to be interviewing Tracy Qian, who is a first-year engineering student at the University of Toronto in Canada. Tracy came to my attention because she was part of the team that recently won MIT's COVID-19 Hackathon, and she's here to tell us all about her AI program, which is going to really help hospitals and all kinds of environments in terms of upholding social distancing and safety measures. But I was just so excited to hear from her. And without anything further, I want to just hand it over to Tracy to say welcome and tell us a bit about yourself.
Hello. So I'm Tracy. I am a first-year engineering science student at University of Toronto, and I'm also the team leader in my program, Isabella. Well, a bit about myself. I originally am from China, and then I came to Canada a few years ago for high school, and then now I'm here in Toronto going to university.
Great, great. How was it to win this MIT hackathon? I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it was amazing, and I joined a hackathon myself, and that I was so lucky to have found this amazing team of people. We are a group of 5, and we're all from different places on the world. Like, can you imagine? And we got together, and then we decided to create this amazing program, Isabella, and then, we ended up winning the hackathon.
So tell us about Isabella and also the hackathon process, because I understand that it was a virtual hackathon and
Yes.
that you had 48 hours to basically create a team and do your thing.
Yes. So Isabella, it is a space optimization system that is the first and only kind of space optimization system in the world right now that solely depends on camera. So what that means is, like, you just take a photo or a video or a panorama of your room, and you can leave it as messy as it is. You don't need to know any dimensions. You upload a photo to the mobile app Isabella, and we will do everything for you. You tell Isabella what you want to have in the room and any special requirements. For example, you want 2 meters between every individual. And then you click the little button generate, and then you will get a floor plan that maps out exactly to the photo that you uploaded. So you can see where you should put things, so the space efficiency is maximized.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you guys put this all together in 48 hours. Can you walk us through that 48 hours that you had for the hackathon?
Yeah, for sure. So a hackathon is essentially a timed software design challenge, and usually you will be given a theme. And for this one that we did, the theme is COVID-19. And so you will be given 48 hours, usually 48 hours, sometimes even shorter, 24 hours, and to create a software that's relevant. So you can join the hackathon yourself or with a team. I joined this hackathon by myself, and I spent the first 8 to 10 hours just talking to people, trying to see if I would be a good fit of their pitch and if I'm actually interested in what they're doing. And at the last little bit, it started on Friday night, and Sunday, I think it was Saturday, very early in the morning, I was like, I'm going to join this team and work on this with this group of people I've never met before. So boom, and then we spent 20 to 30 hours trying to put the whole idea together, and the first 3-4 hours is just the engineering process of framing the situation, trying to see what the opportunities are and what are the things we can do. So yeah, and then we had great developers, we have great iOS developers, and then we put everything together in 48 hours. But it is a demonstration kind of thing. You do not need to have the whole process being done. And it's a month ago when the hackathon happened, and we are able to get a lot of things done in this 1 month period. And we're trying to deploy the program as soon as possible right now to actually help the society to help fight the pandemic.
Awesome. This is high pressure, but incredibly fun and rewarding because you're actually doing something that matters and can be actually used right away. In fact, I have a project that I'd like to try, Isabella, for myself.
Oh yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, totally.
so tell us a bit how you got to this point. Take us back to your childhood. What were the things that you were interested in? What kind of extracurricular things were you doing? What kind of study were you doing? How were your parents kind of helping you to follow your passion of science and engineering?
So I actually went to school in China for about 8 or 9 years before I came to Canada, and it is very different. And in China, education is like very, very competitive. And I spend a lot of time going to different after school courses, like tutorial courses, just so I can get more competitive when it comes to, studying. And my family does this very cool thing that I'm really grateful that they actually spend that much time doing, was that they would take us to travel to different top universities in the world to see what they're like. So, it gave me a really good sense of what I really wanted. So starting in grade A, all of our family vacations are like, we're going to Australia this year to see this university. And then the next holiday, we're going to Singapore. And then we also went to the US, we went to Canada, and then we saw like 20, 30 different universities in China. Yeah, so we did that. We started that in grade A. So we had, a good 4 or 5 years to get that done. And my brother just turned 14. So we're starting everything for him again. And yeah, as a child, I was very passionate about literally everything. And I didn't know much about university. I just knew that, you go to university, you learn something, and you spend the rest of your life doing it. So my very first passion was photography. And that was within the range that my family was able to help me out a little bit. So my uncle bought me a camera and he took me out shooting every once in a while. And after a few months, I was like, I'm done. I don't really like this. And then move on to the next stage. I call that the second stage. I found something in school that really interested me. It was biology and chemistry. So I told my mom, and then my mom was like, all right, let's find you, a tutor and see if you can learn anything interesting and new from her. So I'm actually really grateful to have this tutor, and because I learned a lot from her, and I also learned that biology is not what I wanted really early on in life. And yeah, and then later on, the third stage, I call that the last stage, when my parents weren't able to help me with what I liked anymore, because I decided that I want to explore aerospace and computer stuff, and my family didn't really know anything, and they don't really know anyone or any tutors that will have a good sense what aerospace will be like or what computer stuff could do. So they decided to take me to visit Boeing factories in the States, and then we went to the NASA museum and the Flight Museum. Yeah, and we
Wow.
also went to see the headquarters of Microsoft, Google's, and all different tech companies. And then I was so hooked. I was like, wow, this is cool. This is what I wanted to do. So yeah, and then I made the decision that I really want to do machine learning, I think in grade 12, because I remember the trip going to different headquarters at technology centers, and it was amazing. And
And
I
who
think,
who organized this? Your parents, or were you part of a tour?
no, like we always go back ourselves, and they always ask me and my brother to like plan things out, like find different places that we want to see, and then we just get on a plan and go. And usually for all the tech centers and universities, they will have free tours or like a visitor center that are open for all different people. So you will get a great experience from that as well.
Wow, that is dedication by both you and your brother, but also really enabled and empowered by your parents, which is really, really great because You know, kids, if they see it close or they talk to a technologist, often that's the thing that really
Yes,
inspires them to continue studying. Awesome.
yes,
Coming
yes.
back to technology, do you see yourself in your future as someone creating technology or using it, or a combination of both?
I think, life is a journey of learning. As you go on, you will always have to be learning. And especially in the field of technology, that everything is updating so fast. So I think being able to create technology, you have to be able to know how to use it very well. And then in the process of learning how to use it, you might twist a little thing and be like, hey, that's something cool that I can create. And I think it's a combination of both, and at the end of the day, just whatever is fun.
Exactly, the fun factor, being playful and also obviously discovering new things. Well, what kind of person thrives in engineering, the intersection of engineering and technology? What are the characteristics and the mindset? Maybe you can describe yourself, but also what you see out there in terms of the technologists you've met and some of your fellow students and some of your professors even.
Yeah, I think yeah, it would be someone that is a keener of learning, that's for sure. Like I said, everything is updating so fast. Like even when we're talking right now, somebody on the other side of the planet is making a new system, making a new program, and you have to update your brain as well. So that's why you have to keep learning, being able to be able to get caught up to the newest technology, or what has been developed, or it was not there before. And what's most important is that you have to keep an open mind, and that, I think, that brings you to a lot of things, and that you can see things differently, and being able to create something that has never been done before, that's very important.
And that's Isabella, for example, which is so great. Great. Can you give us a sense of the kinds of subjects that you're studying at university? So you're in first year engineering at University of Toronto.
Yes.
Obviously, you know about AI, programming, algorithms. So give us an idea of the kind of classes and subjects that you're taking.
Yeah, for sure. So the program I'm in right now is called engineering science. It's a different branch of from like the traditional engineering. So the newest and latest technology part of engineering will fall under the branch of like engineering science at University of Toronto. And what is the major difference from engineering science to other engineering will be we will spend 2 years learning just basic concrete knowledge, and then by that I meant it's not very exciting.
The
It's a
foundations of
Yeah, the
engineering.
foundations is not very exciting, and then the exciting stuff would come after. And we right now I have just linear algebra, calculus, and then some engineering courses. And honestly, the first 2 years are not going to be the most exciting part, because if you want to do machine intelligence or do algorithm well, you have to understand the math part. You have to start from the very beginning. It's like learning the history of, math and calculus. And then I remember one thing that one of my tutors said is that, you always find answer in the history. And also that's why you always try to spend so much time learning what people have done in calculus, learning what people have done in math, learning on the theorems, and then you combine things together and you use them, and then you come up with solutions. So
Wow.
yeah.
Great. So there is the fundamentals are very important because you actually build on these. And especially there's still, technology is changing. We teach young kids, primary school kids, about computer science and programming. And
Yeah,
we teach the
great.
basic concepts first, because no matter what new apps, new software programs, new programming languages, the fundamentals still
Yeah,
will be
for
there
sure,
underneath.
for sure,
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
You've got this great bicultural kind of perspective because you are obviously from China, but you spent enough time in Canada so that you understand the system and the culture there. Can you maybe give us your opinion, your insights into the differences between universities in Canada, universities in China, and the approach to education? Are there big differences?
Yeah, like there's a huge difference. And I would say it is almost part of Chinese culture that education has always been a big thing, and education has always been competitive because it's like a general social phenomenon in China that everyone goes to university. No matter what you want to do, you go to university. No matter what kind of university, you go. And that makes it very, very competitive. So a lot of parents, they are, really trying to pay attention to education very, very early on in life. And in fact, my mom owns a few tutoring schools in China, and their parents taking their 6-year-old kid, asking my mom, "Do you have any good courses? Because I feel like my son needs to learn something."
This is
Six
on
years old,
top of school.
yeah, on top of school. To get better at math or to get better at other subjects. And there's like 7 years old, be like, "Hey, I want to learn programming." And so my mom was asking me about this, and I was like, wow, like this doesn't happen here. Like in Canada, I would be like playing basketball in my backyard for an hour instead of doing math homework. So like in China, every parent are spending a lot of effort and time trying to make sure their kids are getting the best education and learning the most that they can at that age. And I think learning from a younger age is like better to create a mindset as well. And however, while the universities in Canada are like obviously very, very hard, that's a thing. And it's like flip in China in a way, I would say. Like the K-12 in China is very, very intense. And in Canada, the K-12 is the easy part. And I think people should be spending more time in education in Canada to get the most out of it, because K-12 is really when you actually develop your brain, when you develop your head, when you are the best at learning.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's the main difference.
Hmm. Now, there's some people who would say, like, obviously, there's two kind of groups here. Some would say, kids have to be kids; they should have fun, no
Yeah.
pressure. And the other group that is obviously more towards the China model, which is, come on, we got to get them ready for education and pump as much information and knowledge and skills into them. Um, do you, is there, in your opinion, having been experienced to both systems, is there a balance, or do you really think that the Chinese model is better? I mean, is there a role of fun, of creativity, of kind of a free-spirited part of youth in K-12?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like that part is very important. Like learning is just a part of it. And then, as a kid, you want to have fun. And then, as parents, you want to guide your kids to, a successful future. You don't want them to end up just doing nothing. You want them to be successful. And then to do that, you must be really good guidance to tell them, technology is fun, or, being a doctor could be fun. And early on, you don't really have to feed that knowledge in yet. You can take them to explore all different things by, taking them to good tutors or taking them to visit different places. And we don't just learn by ears, we learn by eyes. And like traveling is a great form of learning. And I would say getting good tutors, they're definitely beneficial. And the fun part is very, very key. Is a key to like develop the brain as a child. And when it comes together, you have a good childhood, and then you learn something, and then you also find that it's very important that you have to keep that going in order to be successful.
Absolutely. So in a way, you should keep your childlike qualities, especially the curiosity and the love of fun.
Hmm.
Very, 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 very good, good insight that you're giving. Is there anyone in your field that is really inspiring you and that you follow and that you really think is on the cutting edge of the kinds of stuff that you do?
I think personally, I think successful people do share a lot of similar characters. And I think it's the characters that prepare someone for the success. And then it comes to your expertise. So, in my eyes, my mom is pretty successful. And I really do learn three main characters from her. I call them the three P's. So
Okay.
they're to be persistent, to be positive, and then to be patient. So like given an example is like she started her tutoring in schools just because she wants to find the best tutors for me and my brother. And then now she has over 2,000 students at her tutoring school. So she went from 2 students to 2,000 students over the past 10 years. So I feel like, if you want to do something great, you have to maintain a very positive mindset and then continue this going for, as long as you can. And then finally, if you're patient enough, you will reach success.
I love that you cite your mother. I think that's a testament that she has done a good job in really empowering you. So that's really nice. What kind of advice would you give to kids who are interested in pursuing their passion around engineering, science, and technology? Are there specific things that they can be doing? I know that you mentioned the trips and stuff, but what advice would you give to these kinds of kids to keep them going and to just inspire them to keep exploring these fields?
First, that's awesome. Like I wish that I had that kind of idea when I was so young, because like I didn't start trying to think what I really want to do in university until grade 9 or grade 10. And I think that's very awesome that you have an idea early on that you want to explore something just out of curiosity. And just don't be afraid to ask people. Like we love it when kids are asking us different professional questions. It makes us seem cool too, you know what I mean? And really share your opinions and your ideas with your parents, and I can guarantee you, they will be supportive, because this is some really exciting news and this is very cool. And do ask your family if you can learn anything from them, and then you know do sign up for the engineering news, engineer magazine, or science magazine, science news, because there's so many exciting things happening in the earth every single second. And then maybe this one day when you're just casually reading the magazine and you'll be like, wow, this person is very cool, I want to talk to him. And just don't be afraid, just send that email, and then maybe you will hear back from him. Literally, like, don't be afraid of doing anything, just do it.
You could have said it better, and Nike has said it as well. So. Great. Well, I think I don't really have any other questions, because I think you've really, really, really covered it, and you've given us a real great insight into your personal journey and how you've gone from this child in China that was curious about photography, biology, aerospace, engineering, and then how you've ended up as part of the winning team of this MIT hackathon. So thank you very much for sharing this information, and I can't wait to try Isabel myself.
Yeah, thank you.